quite funny because I walk along the street and I saw a sign, and it was, you know, when the Bruce Lee was all in the rage. So I looked at the address and it was down in Russell Street. So I went down. Oh, this is the place. I looked, and anyway, I went round the back. I forget the name of the street in Russell Street, and I went upstairs, and I joined up. And Nick McCurry was teaching at the time, at that particular time, and I thought I was going to. The front one was actually Lawrence Lee. The one I thought I was going to was Lawrence Lee, but it wasn't. It was William Chung. So I went to the wrong place for a start. And then I saw it, I thought, oh, this is for me, you know. And too, what impressed me a bit, but there was a lot of young fellas, you know, there, of course. You know, I'm Bruce Lee. But there's a few older fellas too, which sort of impressed me a bit, you know, because I wasn't going to be able to do these spinning back kicks and ha sort of stuff. And that's when I thought, well, this is for me, you know. And someone was helping out was a fellow called Stanley Chang. And he was very good, a bit different to William Chung's, very, very good.
But he was teaching for William Chung?
He was teaching when William Chung, at the particular time William Chung was in Hong Kong. Nick McCurry and Stanley Chang was teaching. And I saw Stanley Chang do some G-South sort of sparring. You know, he just bang, bang. And I thought, well, I can't do this spinning back kick, but I can do that, or hopefully I can do that. That's well within my range. Mm-hmm. And he was really the reason I kept going, because I thought, okay, you know, these fellas, they're going to run out of steam in a couple of years, you know. But I could still keep doing this, you know. And I more or less based my ideas on Stanley Chang. But of course, I followed through with William Chung's technique. But my ideas was not to try and do the high, spectacular stuff, which I wasn't going to do anyway. And so I just kept that in mind. 1975.
Right. Okay. And whereabouts was the school?
It was in Russell Street. I forget the name of the street.
It's one of the streets that came
just behind it. As you come off Russell Street, the first on your left, and you went up the stairs. Okay, right. And had a name plate on the door, and it's just a small place. Well, I'm there training, and they're talking about, they used to call him Bill in those days, you know, Bill. And they was talking, oh, Bill did this and Bill did that. And I, Bill is, you know, because I thought these were the teachers. And then we're training one night, and we're doing this technique, and I forget who was showing us, anyway, it doesn't matter. And they had a little office like you've got there, and William Chung was in there, and he come rushing out, or he didn't come, walked out and said, look, why don't you try it this way? And then I realised he was the master, you know, he was the, and so he used to, so he said, oh, you know, he used to do that. He saw someone, say, one of the instructors teaching, and he'd walk in and say, look, you know, it's all right, but why don't you try it this way? So he did a lot of that sort of stuff, which is very handy, you know, I mean, because some of these, in those days, not many people knew that much Wing Chun. We all thought we knew it. But he brought us back to the reality of stuff, you know. Well, that sort of grew on me, you know. Yeah. I sort of appreciate the techniques.
Mm-hmm. The efficiency and the
the efficiency, movement. Yeah, and how they were all worked out, you know. I used to say, well, how did they work this out, you know? And then we had a first spar, and I knew it was going to be hopeless, but I didn't know how hopeless. I just didn't know what to do. I just looked at you.
Sure, put all the pieces together was quite difficult.
yeah, quite different. So then I thought, well, I've got to, you know, okay, I've got to adjust this. It's not going to work like they show you in the training. They're just principles. You've got to adjust to your own personality. To your own your own personality and size and everything else.
Physiology,
and well. So then I kept on to my, you know, I know what it's like, you know, you go bad and you're not doing any well, and the first thing you do is blame your teacher, you know. So I didn't want to do that, you know, I just wanted to keep that. So that's how I kept going at it. Very hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, the warm-up was an hour's warm-up. An hour, not an hour, half, it was a 2-hour session, and half an hour warm-up. Yes, it's quite difficult. It would have, because William Chung was taken. They were all William Chung's technique, even when someone else was there, they were his techniques, you know. And later on, it did, I don't know, did change, yes, it changed a lot from what he taught to what finished up being taught. Yeah, well, his was always short, sharp, and right to the point, you know. There's always an alternative too, you know. You say, well, look, try it this way, you know, and stuff like that, which...
be it applied offensively or defensively? Yeah,
defensively, and same with the steps. You step back to the outside, you step to the inside. You torture to both, you know. Sometimes you're going to be stuck in the inside, so you've got to learn inside techniques, you know.
Sure.
So it took you to the outside and that sort of stuff too. I always wanted to do a martial arts, and the years were slipping by. I was just doing a lot of travel, and went to Japan and these places, and I thought, well, if I don't do anything now, the opportunity's lost, you know. And
so you travel and look at other martial arts from other systems? And
no, I didn't train any. I just...
But you have a look and...
Yeah, I had a look at karate mainly, karate, yeah. Mainly karate, actually.
Was that when you were in Japan?
Yeah.
Why were you in Japan?
I went to Japan, well, maybe half a dozen times over the years. But this is the first time, and the one was because karate in those days was, in Japan, was thought a little bit loutish, you know. I never had any prestige like judo that was taught. In
so it was looked down upon a little bit?
Yeah, looked down upon a bit, you know, karate. Right. Which is funny, soon there's such a warlike block, you know. And then I saw that and I thought, this is pretty good, but I didn't think it was for me. I don't know why. It just didn't click with me. I could see it was, and they used to train, and it was summer and hot and humid, and they had a little room, a little fan like this to take the sweat out, you know. And they train like when they turn the fan on and take all the hot air and that out, and then they go again. Oh, it was really hard for them, and I thought, well, that's a bit tough, you know.
Sure.
But then I was on holiday, I wasn't going to join up anyway.
Yeah.
And,
but you were inspired by their abilities,
their ability, their strength, and their dedication. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, yeah, a couple of times.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it was the home invasion, of course, you know.
So what happened there? Tell me about what happened.
Well, I woke up one night and there's all this noise, you know, and I thought, oh, my brother, what the hell is he doing?
Oh, you so you lived with your brother?
Yeah. What the hell is he doing? He thought I was doing, he said, what Ellen's doing? And I yelled out, Fred, what are you doing in there? He said, look, we've got burglars. And he's got a little broomstick like this. He's confronting these burglars. And I said, look, get on the phone and 000, you know. But we worry about these couple, you know.
Yes.
And of course, there's a bit of them. But
one of them was armed?
Yeah, he slashed me with a knife, actually. It was my own knife, I think, too.
Right. And,
not very badly, but it was... And I got a baton, of course, every he tried to come in, you know. He wasn't... If he had to come in closer, he was gone, you know.
Sure.
He was out here.
Yes.
Anyway, we finished up, we got them locked in the room.
So you've run them into you've used your skill to get them into the room?
No, they're already in the room, ransacked. That's where I got in there, yeah.
So you've just locked the door behind them?
Yeah, and they jumped out the window and they didn't cut themselves.
Right, they smashed the window?
Yeah, and jumped out.
Oh my goodness.
And then so I ran outside, I still had my bat, and the leader of the gang, a bloke named, I forget his name. Anyway,
they caught them, did they?
No, they didn't catch him. But anyway, I ran out, and the one had gone, and the other one had jumped out the window. He fell down like that, and I had the bang, bang, and I chased him to the gate, and I hit him again, and the bat flew out of my hand. And
So you hit him so hard the bat flew out.
Drug to the bloody brain, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, as soon as that done, he turned, come at me, you know, and the Pakistan punch, I couldn't, even now, I don't know how I did it. I was so calm in this particular instant that I Pakistan, but I'd done the wrong punch, I'd done this punch. And all the shock went up there. Instead of doing the William Chung punch,
your elbow came out.
Yeah, elbow came out, and that took a bit of, and he done a couple of spins and took our letterbox with him. And then I chased him, and then all of a sudden his mate came back with a knife, and he leant across the gate, and of course I couldn't go any further.
Yeah.
And then they ran out, and we rang the police and all of that. Well, it's made me more fitter, of course. You know, I wasn't unfit. I used to do that. I don't know whether you've heard of the 5BX system, laid down by the Canadian Air Force. They found out all their air crew were slobs, you know, fly airplanes, but so they lay down this 5BX system. So
these are different types of exercises that
you've got to do it in 8 minutes, I think it is.
Sure.
8 seconds, 8 minutes, I think it is. Anyway, you do 11 minutes, I think. 5 exercises in 11 minutes.
Sure.
And when you can do it in 11 minutes, you move up. And you start from the very beginning, which is nothing, you know.
What type of exercises would you do?
Well, push-ups. Push up and clap your hands.
Yeah.
Jump up and running on the spots, yeah. And there's a few variations around even now, you know. There's one, the Royal Marines have got one very, or burpees and that.
Sure.
The Royal Marines have got one very similar, but there's a spin-offs from the Canadian Air Force 5BX, but they're just spin-offs the same thing. And you're struggling, you can't get it in 11 minutes. Next minute you're doing it in 8, and then you move on to the next one.
Wow.
And they say at the very end, you'd have to be an Olympic athlete to be able to do it in the prescribed time. 85, yeah.
Yeah, and you still look pretty fit?
Yeah, I'm still fit, hopefully. My own personal opinion is hand techniques. Cover the hand, get the hand techniques right, because I've had a couple of other confrontations besides that actually. I found out that in the first instance, the very thing that gets you out of trouble is hand techniques. You can kick, you can be the greatest kicker in the world, but it doesn't matter when someone's barging in on top of you, you know. And I found out that hand techniques, and Wing Chun is hand techniques, because that's what gets you out. You see them out the street, they're throwing their arms around, and if you can handle that, you're right. Come out unscathed, not unscathed. Go up to the... I hadn't been training long. I shouldn't have got caught, actually, but I did. I was training up there. I used to go to a restaurant up top of Burke Street. I knew him pretty well, actually, over a while. And anyway, a fella come in, and he said, I'm always last, you know. And
so he was upset because he couldn't get
I reckon he was, yeah. And he got this, Neil his name was, he attacked one of the fellas, you know, one of the proprietors. And he went to walk out. I said, no, you're not walking out. You're going to wait until the police are ringing the police. Oh, all right. He turned around and he went, oh.
He swung a punch at you.
Right. So I grabbed him and got him against the wall. And they're saying, you wrecked the cafe. Never mind about it. Anyway, the police come and he got charged, and I got a few meals out of that one.
So the upside was you got a few good meals out of it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The other one was down in the on the tram, actually, one of these trams, and I went to validate my ticket.
So this is sometime just recently?
Yeah, not that long. Fairly, still training with you about that time, or Dana, you know, and this young fella come along and he went, bang, you know, pushed me into it, and I done the fuss out. because he's moving forward and hit him, I went head first into the seat.
What was his response when he
And
saw
I said, oh, they tricked you, didn't you, you know? And he went out and he left the tram and followed by a lot of abuse from me.
No,
and he went, of course, it didn't go the way he wanted it to go.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't realise that's how we're so strong.
As a strike, that is.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think so. It's given me a bit of discipline, a bit of perseverance. You know, I was pretty lazy and I never ever followed anything through. This is the first time I've ever followed through with anything with Wing Chun. You know, I've started a few things, but yeah, I've got a few down the track of it. I got disinterested in that, you know.
Sure.
But this is the first thing I ever followed. It's like, it taught me persistency, you know. So I still practice my forms and still practice at Silam Town.
Silam Tower. I see you walk past the dummy and you still want to give it a
I
go.
want to try and see, you know, some things just won't work on the dummy and or won't work in actual fact, you know.
Sure.
Anyway, when I got the cancer, the surgeon said normally someone of your age wouldn't even bother to think about going.
Just give up. And
He said, but you're so fit for an old fella. Every day. Virtually every day. I don't say I might miss occasionally, yeah.
Fantastic.
I steam vegetables and it takes me so many minutes or so. Why I put them on doing this?
Yeah, sure. So the time it takes you to steam up your vegetables, you do a Silam Tower form.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.